Hi and welcome to the channel. Now today's video is about this portable hard drive you can buy off of Amazon, eBay, AliExpress, places like that. It's by KinHanK. They do bigger ones, but this is just 500 gig and this is a budget channel and we're going to go for the bare minimum here. About £14 on AliExpress delivered, I think, something like that here to the UK. Probably going to pay £20, maybe a little bit more on eBay if you wanted one, and Amazon. But have a look around if you're interested in one, or you come over here just to see what it's all about. Going to show you some games and that in action on a basic machine. This is a basic machine here. I'm going to show you how to boot it up two different ways. We're going to use the USB and also we're going to place it internally as well. Two ways of booting this up. Best if you've got an old machine you're not using. Doesn't matter if you muck it up or anything like that, because some people will be wary about adjusting things, tapping the keyboard on boot up on a machine that they're using every day kind of thing. And it's really useful if someone's got one of these old machines that's, you know, they're just upgraded maybe, because don't forget these are yonks old. Did mention this in the previous video how old these are. Going to come to that. I'm going to do another little video on these, I think, just a few maybe faults that you may come across, something like that. I don't know. Anyway, see how it goes. Only because power supply, believe it or not, power supply went in one of these literally a few days after I made that video. Amazing. But there you go, they are old. Okay, so yeah, if you want to go and look at that video, by the way, I'll put a link at the top of me describing these and telling you maybe not to go and buy one now for too much money. Get it as cheap as possible. But anyway, you've come here to have a look at this little drive here. Like I say, it's got tens of thousands of games on it, retro games. It's tons of these retro games. It's massive now, absolutely massive. Tons of these little handheld things and all the ROMs and everything and all that kind of stuff on it and everything. Anyway, I'm going to show you a couple of ways and how you boot this up on your machine. This is what today's video is about, how you boot this up. Just going to few demonstrations. Now, this machine here, just by the way, it's got no it's basic machine. This is how you'd get it off of eBay, maybe for about £40 or £50 now. This is an i5. It's got 8 gig of memory. It's got no graphics card or anything like that. It's just as is. So we're going to boot it up. Let's get on with it then, Mick. So the first way we're going to do it, and by the way, once you boot it up, have your joystick plugged in. If it's one of these like wide joysticks like this, the Xbox 360 controller, or you've got a Bluetooth one or whatever this is, this radio thing here that the Xbox 360 for a wireless one, have that plugged in ready to go before you actually boot up the machine. So you get this little lead with it. It all comes with it, the hard drive and the lead. We're going to take this out in a minute, like I say, and put it inside the unit, but for the time being, someone that don't want to take the hard drive out, we're going to plug this in. In fact, let's move the joystick down to the bottom just to make this a bit easier. We're going to plug it in here. Just get it the right way round. That plugs in now. This plugs into here. Only goes in one way, so don't start jamming it. We're just going to stick that hard drive. I don't know if you can see it. We'll stick it up here because it does light up as it kind of works. So we're going to boot the machine up. So to do that, we want to actually go into the boot options. Now, on your machine, it may be different. You may have to press on your keyboard escape to get into the BIOS or something like that, or to the boot menu, F2, F10, F12. And on this particular machine, it's F12. So I'm going to keep tapping at F12 into it while it boots up, because it's got a Windows hard drive in here at the moment, and I don't want to boot into Windows. So turn the machine on. We're going to wait for something to come up on the screen. You could keep tapping it now if you wanted to. It's not going to do any harm, but there you go. F12. F12 is my boot options. Preparing to go into boot. Now, like I say, you're maybe F9, F8. Have a look at your machine, have a look. But these Dell Optiplexes F12 normally. And hopefully you can see this. Got me a little light here just to show you that light kind of lights up as it goes along. But now I'm hoping you can see this on the screen. I'm going to move this screen just slightly over here and a bit more forward. Now I've used the keyboard. In fact, I want to slide the keyboard down there out of the way and get this a bit nearer, even though I've got to use this keyboard. And we've got our boot options here, how we want to boot up. And at the moment it's set up to boot from CD or DVD. Then the next one is the built-in hard drive. And the third option, we're on USB. We want to pick USB storage device. So use the arrow keys, come down to that and just smash the, well, don't smash it, just tap the enter key. And that's where it go. And it's automatically booting up now to this. It's bypassed the Windows hard drive that's in the machine. It's going to boot up on this little drive here. Can we see that? Yeah, we can see that. Okay. And it's going to take a little while to boot up. So that's one way of booting it up. If you want it externally, and you may want to use your machine like I say, with the Windows in it, you may want to use it after you've done this just as a normal PC, but I would recommend having one of these just as a gaming machine really, and we can tuck this inside. I'm going to show you about that during the course of this video, but this is it loading up. I'm not going to go into it too much, just want to show you it loading up. I'm going to stop the video here, and what I'm going to do now is just show you, just in case you're worried, look, I've booted this up. Now what happens next time when I unplug this and I want to go back to Windows, I want to get me Windows 11 or 10 or whatever you've got the machine going. I've booted up into this mic, great, but I'm going to take it out and I'll get into Windows. So let's show you what happens there. So let's just cut the video. Okay, what I want to show you now, so I don't leave anyone in the lurch or anything like that, is that if you was using your own PC, I kind of go against that myself. I'd rather just get a separate unit if you like, say if you're upgrading. But if you are using your own PC, some people may be a bit worried. I booted up into this mic. What happens next time when I've turned it all off and I unplug this, which I'm going to do now. We're going to take the drive out. We'll put that down there. We'll take the joystick out as well. We'll get rid of that as well, joypad. And we're going to boot up. And don't forget the hard drive, the normal hard drive's in the machine. So the boot it up is like I say, it's maybe if you're using your own machine. We're going to see what comes up and how it boots up on this particular machine. Now I would press F12 normally to change it to play that hard drive, but I'm, you know, the hard drive, that game hard drive, but I've not. I've let it continue. And there you can see next time you boot up, it boots into Windows. Now that's what it does on this particular machine. On your machine, you may get a message come up saying the boot options have been changed. Press F1 to continue. That's the kind of message you may get, and if you did do, then you do F1 to continue. So what would you do there? If that message did come up on the screen before Windows loaded, just press your F1 button to continue. Then your Windows would load up like so, and there you go. So that's that. Okay, so there you can see Windows booted up. Now you may, like say, have a spare one of these. You just upgraded, you took the hard drive out and took all the information off of it you want, and going to get rid of it because you've got a new machine, or you may even put it in your new machine. So this is free, and now we want to put this unit inside. We don't want it sticking out the top, we'd rather have it inside. So what we're going to do is, this comes obviously undone. Here's the unit as you'd get it, and all we're going to do is literally just put a thumb and finger and just slide that case off like so. So we've got the unit unplugged, there's a little interface there, and there's our hard drive. And what we're going to do is just going to pull that hard drive out of the unit, and we're going to put that aside for a second over here. So we've just got a little hard drive that comes in the unit, and we're going to stick it in the machine. So let's do that. Okay, make sure the actual PC is unplugged. So what we're going to do, there's our drive we want to put in there. Just put that aside for a second. Just undo the PC, make sure everything's unplugged. We'll take the lid off of that PC, and hopefully you're going to see what I'm going to do next. Now here's our hard drive, the one that's already in there, the one we took the data off, we're no longer going to use, or we're going to get rid of. If you're going to get rid of it, give it a good clap with an hammer and smash it all up, make sure no one nicks any of your data on there. Just going to move that camera a little bit more forward hopefully, and tilt myself downwards a bit, and hopefully you can see what I'm doing in here. It's fairly straightforward really. On this machine it's a nice quick release, nice and easy. Pull that handle, that comes out like so. These two leads unclip like so. And there you've got your hard drive. If you want to take that out, this just comes completely out. Just pull this apart and it'll come out completely. It's not held in there. It's just kind of clipped in there. But anyway, sling that aside for a second. And now we've got our little hard drive and we've got nowhere to put it really. So maybe a double-sided sticky tape once you actually get it fitted, and maybe clamp it to the bottom there inside the case somewhere, or anywhere you can find. It's a double-sided sticky tape. You can get some adapters that will make it into a bigger one. You may actually want to use the adapter that comes with it, for instance. Let's unplug this adapter completely. In fact, I've got one over here already done, so just bear with me. And once you've undone that kind of case, you're left with this. So you can put that back in there, and what you could do, you bit of double-sided tape or something. I mean, I don't know. You may want to put it in there, something like that, stuck to this. Then you can put this back in there like so, and that, let's get it that way around so the lead fits. Something like that. You may just want to kind of put, like say, you get that double-sided stuff to stick in there, and you've got the thing there. I won't have it dangling loose so much because you've got connections here. So just maybe not have it dangling, trying to get it in there fixed. But anyway, if you did want to put it in there, I'm going to put my one in there now just to show you it all up and running. We'll just connect. There's only two connections here. There's a big connection here and a smaller connection here. Is the power and the data kind of thing going into there. So we're going to push that one. Only going one way, by the way. If you're struggling like so to put it in, it only goes in one way round. So just swing it round the other way. And there you go. And try and keep them leads straight rather than bending round and that. Just keep them nice and flat. And the other lead just plugs in like so. I've got it upside down and I keep forgetting. There you go, and there it is, it's inside. Like I say, it will flop about obviously in there, but for the case of me actually doing this, I'm going to have it resting on the bottom. It's going to have this back to the bottom, so it's not going to short out anywhere, but I wouldn't leave it like that. If I was you, like I say, I'll get it stuck in there. But anyway, that's it in the machine. So what I'm going to do now is tilt the machine up and turn it on as is. Okay, just before I turn it on, I think I mentioned earlier in the video that this machine didn't have a graphics card, but I'm doing these videos all over the place at the moment. It does have a graphics card at the moment, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure you see it with that graphics card, how it would run without that graphics card out, just that some sharp-minded people will notice I've got a graphics card installed here. But the rest of the video, it isn't installed. It's just when I've come to show you this fitted in the side of the machine that is actually installed there. But anyway, let's get on with it. Okay, we've now got the machine with the hard drive installed, so we might as well turn it on. I'm going to show you how to not set it up, but just show you a few games running. Just want to keep it as simple as possible and how to shut it down at the same time. So we're going to turn it on and watch how this. But I've still got my keyboard plugged in just in case we need to do anything. As you can see there, the machine booted up. It's recognised that hard drive as a different hard drive that was in there before. Shut itself down and now going to start itself back up again. No need to press any keys or anything like that. And here we go. We've got a little menu here that's saying that the invalid configuration information, please run setup. But we're not going to do that. And you may get that, like I say, when you come to boot your Windows. This may actually pop up once you've had this on the outer. You plug this in the USB. You press the F12 to change the boot options and you booted into this. You're finished with it, you've unplugged it. You go to boot your Windows disk, go to boot to your Windows disk after it's all unplugged. You may get this come up and all we're going to do is press F1 to continue. So we're going to do that if it comes up, like I say, once you've swapped it over, and once we've swapped it over inside, it's come up as well. So it's twice, it's a couple of times it could come up just to give you where it. Don't start pressing all different buttons on it, it's just F1 to continue. With it, you don't need to do any setup or anything like that. So there you go, it's going to boot up now. May just put you off a little bit, but you'll get used to it. It's just something that may pop up, but if you're going to use this as a standalone machine now with the hard drive inside, it's never going to pop up again. It's just a one-off pop-up there. Just because we swapped over the internal drive, which was a Windows disk, it's seen a new disk, a new hard drive, should I say, in there from the old one, and it wants to know what's happening, kind of thing. Oh, got a bit of volume there. We're going to just unplug that. I've got these speakers here. Let's just unplug that. Don't want too much volume. Oops, going along at the moment. But I will plug that back in again in a second because it's quite a little interesting one that I liked here, and hopefully you're going to like it. We'll plug that back in a second. But for the time being, we're just going to load up. And this is how it loads up. It takes a little bit of time. Now this is on a normal, like a 2.5 inch disc. Some people may want to transfer this, do a copy of it onto an SSD disc, something like that, which this would load up probably 10 times faster, something like that. And it will help the gameplay as well. It will help the gameplay as well. So just something to bear in mind. Okay, so we're just loading all this up. And don't forget, this is just a bog standard machine now. That graphics card you see earlier in the video is not in there. It's just, as I was doing the video, I was mucking about doing all different things with the machine, experimenting, and it happens to be in there when I showed you me installing the hard drive, but it's not in there now. That will obviously increase the performance if you did buy a separate graphics card, but we're talking budget here, and this is just someone, like I say, who's got very little resources, just who wants to get into it. So we're just going to flick through all together. We've got all games. We've got what's that, 114,538. Not a lot to choose from. Now what I do find out is the more games you get, the less time you spend on the game, because you've got so many more to choose from. If you just went out and bought one game, you're lumbered with that game and you're going to play it probably to the end. Here you'll be skipping games all over the place, kind of thing. It just happens like that. We've got 60 games on the 32X, the 3DO we've got 13 games, 3DS 6 games, Amiga. Now this is quite interesting. I'm going to give you a little demonstration of the Amiga and just go through maybe a couple of controls if I can remember them. So for the Amiga, we're going to go into that. If it's not the button there, that brings you up on the side here to jump quickly. Forget that. Just going to use the other button to go into the Amiga. And I don't know which game. What was I playing the other day? It can be slow. You can search quicker here. let's have a look, see if I can find out where it is. Search randomly. You can press this button here to, oh, that's actually filtering. I haven't really used this a lot, to be honest. I usually just flick through to the game, so that's not the way I use it. So it can be a lot of buttons and mishaps as you go along, but you'll get used to it. But let's try, it doesn't matter what game, I don't think. I think it does it for all of them. So just a little bit of interest. I'm going to plug this in. Now, if you had an Amiga in the past, mind my big head in the way, we're going to plug this in here. Hopefully that's going to spring into action. We'll do this one here. So let's load that up. Bomb Fusion, not a game I'm really familiar with, to be honest with you, but just wanted to show you this. Now that's the disc loading up, believe it or not. That's the sound. Very authentic. So much so, when I first loaded one up, when I first loaded one up, I thought, what's happened here? I've got an internal floppy. I forgot all about that. What's happening? And there you go. It's going to load up, and let's just unplug that now. A lot of these Amiga stuff was cracked by Paradox and people like that in the past, and they would have their little group kind of demo on the front before the actual game, when you'd have to press a button or something to carry on with the game, which I just did there, press the button to continue. And I've actually put the frames per second up here to give you an idea of what frames per second. This is probably stuck at 50 Hertz, and I'm getting the 50 frames here. I'm not going to play that game. I'm going to come out of it, which is on this particular controller, it's the middle one, and that will bring you back out. So that's the Amiga, and this button will bring you back down. We've got the Amstrad, Apple, tons of games here. The Arcade 2000, Atari 600, 2000, sorry, 5200, 7000, Atari 800, the Lynx, the ST, Awesomeware. And I'm just going to play it's a couple of favourites of mine here. It's just not that I'm very good at them, but this is a nice game of mine that I like playing. Dolphin Blue, kind of shoot. I'm into shooting and racing, and this is right up my street. So let's get that speeded up a bit. I won't do any sound. It's a bit loud, but just give you an idea of what you're looking at. And it's fit, even with this graphics card, it's got a reasonable amount of smoothness to it. Getting 60 Hertz, 60 frames a second, and I'll be going forward as soon as I suss out the controls. Yeah, don't expect too much of my gameplay here, just giving you a quick demo here of this particular game and what you can expect. This is an i5, by the way, 8 gig of RAM, just to make sure you've got some idea. And this is me playing bad. I'm at a bit of an angle as well, any excuse. Showing how rubbish I am at these games. Right, let's get out of that one. So that's the Awesomeware, so it's come out there. Atomsware, whatever you want to call it. We've got Capcom there. In fact, let's just flow through a few games here. A lot of my shooting kind of games on the Capcom. Yeah, not always got a thumbnail, but most of the time you get some kind of thumbnail. A game that, let's load this one up. A game that I had on the Super Nintendo, I bought the cartridge, and actually one of the games I've actually finished many years ago now on the Super Nintendo. An absolute, one of the hardest games I've come across to get to the end, but we finally did it. Me and my mate Frank, we sat there night after night, and we finally managed to get this game all up and running, completed, so I say. Now it's up and running. So hopefully this is going to spring into action in a minute. I've turned the sound off, like I say, but sometimes these games take ages to load up, don't they? Just wanted to give you a quick demo of it. I'm just picking these at complete random, as you probably sussed out. And I don't want to press a button and we start all over again, which is easy done. So trust me to pick a game that's got a massive long intro. I'm trying to get it forward for you. I'm trying my best here. Now we're going to insert some coins, hopefully. That's just pressing this button here on the controller. You've got to start and select whatever it is to get the money in there and to start the game. Are we off and running yet? Oh, we're off and running, I think. Here we go. Where's me firing? Where's me jump? That's me jump. Let's get over there. Let's do a bit of... I've forgot what me firing is. Oh my God, let's get back over here. Run, run. That's me firing, that's me jump. Right, we've got it now. Jump, firing. But anyway, gives you an idea. That's that one. We're going to come straight out of that. Them two buttons, the middle and the end there. Gets us out of that. We're going to Capcom 2. some great games on here as well. You've got plenty of games to choose from on these Commodore 64. Dreamcast, we've got 50 games there on the Dreamcast. Crazy Taxi, let's just give you a quick demo of what this looks like. Crazy Taxi. Let's start that off. Let's get it started. Arcade. Oh, press the wrong button. Start. Arcade. Let's do. Come on, Alex. Let's get going. Axel, not Alex. Got it in reverse for some reason. Let's try and get it into drive. There's drive. Let's go. Let's pick up my first passenger. In you get, mate. Yeah, a bit lively. Off we go. Stand by. Maniac. And yeah, oh, okay, great game if you haven't played this. You've got to try and get as close to these cars as possible, rack up a little bit extra tip for oh, gone whizzing past the destination. Oh blimey, I'm going around the block here, typical taxi driver, putting more miles on than absolutely necessary. But there you go, anyway, that's Crazy Taxi. Let's get out of that. Let's come back to the menu. We've got the Famicom, Final Burn Neo, 6,000 games on there. Game Boy Advance. There you go, Nintendo GameCube. In fact, what we'll do, the old GameCube, do like a bit of F-Zero. We'll get that one up and running. Hopefully it's not going to take too long. Getting 60 frames here, so we're not doing too bad. It does dip a bit here though on this game. The graphics, you know, get a graphics card in there will help from the basic graphics, but you can't grumble, can you, of all them games to play. Let's get the old start button going. You're going to find a few there you like. Start novice. Let's just get ourselves going. What I will do is I will do a little video if you're maybe interested to come along. Some games that kind of started me off, got me involved with computer games, though I've kind of lost track over the last few years, probably because I've done the iFi channel and that, and kind of lost track a bit. Played them to death, had thousands of games and hundreds of systems, literally. Just going to talk a few games that kind of got me on that path now. What buttons, what here? Here we go, slow starter, like my horses, fall out the stalls. There we go, and we're off and running now. What button does what? We've got a boost yet? No, we've got a spin round button there, Mick. I forgot what the boost is. Is it this one over here? I've stopped it. No, I don't think I've got the boost yet, have I? No, I ain't got it, I think. But anyway, no boost yet. There's the F? I've got the charge up over here, and there's me attempting, like you say, it's fairly smooth, you can't grumble at that. So that is, it's got a few jerky bits here and there, but that jerkiness is probably accessing the hard drive. If you happen to change the image, copy it over to an SSD, that would get rid of that jerkiness, but it's a little price to pay. Got the Jaguar system I'm not very familiar with, even though I did have one a little while ago, quite a while ago now actually, and had a couple of carts for it. Not a system I really like, to be honest with you. In television, what a great system that is. I'm going to show you a couple of games in that, not now, but it kind of got me up and running. The computer's the own Naomi, or whatever you want to call it. And some great games in here. A different version of Crazy Taxi on here as well. A few shooters, Giggle Wing I liked. And there's a few bits and pieces on here, so plenty to choose from. Got Neo Geo, 265 games there. The CD version, the Pocket Color, Nintendo 64, plenty of games in there. The hard drive, not, you know, 11 games, they're not that great. They're all right, I suppose. Anyway, there's plenty of stuff here. We're going to go through them. Nintendo Switch, don't expect to start running any of them. It's got one game on there. It's going to be very jerky, very slow, etc. Same pretty much with the Wii U. Got when that comes up, PCFX, PlayStation, plenty of games there. 700, PlayStation 2, we've got 22, PlayStation 3, just the one. PlayStation Portable, 131 games there. So we've got quite a few games there to choose from. Now I'm just going to show you, what is that? I'm just put the old PS2 on there. Another favourite game of mine. It's not actually on here. I'll drop this game in. It doesn't actually come on there. I've got no picture, but an old favourite of mine. is Sega Rally Championship on the PS2. Love this game to death. Just going to give you a quick demo of that, and that will be it. I'm going to show you how to shut it down safely. Well, not that it's going to blow up or anything like that, but so you're not going to damage the hard drive. It's going to save all the data that you've done while playing. Obviously all the saves save, so you can start off a game where you left off. That's great. You ain't got to worry about any saving, just it saves as you go along in any game you play on any system, so that's great. So let's just get this up and running, just give you an idea of how this runs on this particular machine. When we get it up and running, we'll press the start button. Like the old inside of the car. Oh, go on the outside, don't want that. Want the inside. What button is it? Mix this button here. We're slowly away again. We've got a couple of control methods here. I usually use a D-pad for this actually, rather than the control stick. But that's because you're watching. I'm not playing so well. I'm usually pretty good. Do like this game. Oh dear, I've come off the course. I'm at a really bad angle here. Any excuse me, just there you go, over the jump. Anyway, that is Sega Rally on the PS2. So let's come out of that before I show myself up even more. Oh, and knock the camera up in here as well. So we're going to come out of it now. To come out of it, we'll just press this button, the start button I think it is. We're going to come down to quit. We're going to press quit and we'll just do a normal shutdown. So I really want to shut down, yes I do. It's going to save all the data etc. there, and that PC is going to turn itself off after it's done that, and hopefully you should see the light go out shortly, and we'll turn the old telly off as well I think. So that's it. Hopefully you've got some information out of there about these little hard drives. They do bigger versions, but what I like about this one, they do like up to about 12-14 gig now, but they're going to cost you a nice few quid, and they need a separate power supply. Well, this one here, if you're going to use it externally, needs no extra power supply, just plugs in via that USB, no extra power supply required. And it's nice and easy to fit in your machine as well. Just got to kind of stick it in there somehow. That's maybe the only problem you're going to have if you're going to put it inside the machine. Very, very small glimpse of the games there, and that may come back, like I say, with a few favourites of mine, etc. A few games that kind of got me hooked into gaming many, many years ago now. But until the next video, I'm going to stop waffling, and I'll say thanks for watching, and I'll see you.